Kind of been all over the place here this morning. I picked up the camera about 4 hours ago to video some stuff up here and then forgot about the camera because I was running errands. But basically, sprayer is here. They got Burndown sprayed on the 14 acres of grass hay that we're gonna be planting. So we'll be planting that here in the next 2 weeks roughly. I'm doing some cleanup in the barn. I got the last of the straw stack there. That's spoken for and sold for. Actually, all of that in the middle there is spoken for stuff. This is kind of just some random stuff that I'll move out here eventually. These are some steer bales right here that I'm gonna haul down to the steer barn because I am running out of feed. I'm down to my last big bale of feed for them. And even though it's green out, they still eat a lot of hay this time of year. So kind of just doing some cleaning up. It's really different in here though when the barn is empty. It echoes. And it's time to fill it back up. Equipment parked here, a little bit of hay, a little bit of straw. But the plan is we are gonna be stacking these hay stacks high and tight. We've got this elevator here that we didn't use much last year, but we're definitely going to be using it here this year. We used it on some first cutting, and we used it a lot in straw. But we got to use it this year because we're going to make sure that these stacks, because we got a lot of hay this year, they got to be narrow, and they got to get up high. It's a 16-foot ceiling up there, so we got to stack them tall. Some of the hay that we're going to make is probably going to end up being steer hay because we need feed for the steers anyway. And some of the grass fields, kind of meadowy fields that I have, they've got some weeds in them, so first cutting is probably going to be stemmy and weedy, and I might as well feed some of that to the steers. So that could end up being steer feed. I've got an alfalfa field that the landowners are more organic leaning, so they don't necessarily want me to come in and spray for weeds and that sort of thing. So that might end up being some steer hay there, that first cutting. So we might just make all of the first cutting from some of my rented fields steer hay, because like I said, I need the hay anyway. I don't know the math. I have a hay bay out there at the steer barn, and it's got to be full for me to make it through most of winter. So we'll play it by ear. We might have to buy some. Might make sense to buy it all in because right now hay's going for dirt cheap. I was at auction this morning, and hay was going for dirt cheap. Really nice stuff. Probably tired of me rambling all the time, but I just got to tell you, I was at auction this morning hauling straw for a buddy, and it was nice gold straw. It was chopped straw, but it was done by a deer combine, so it wasn't as chopped up as this stuff. Case combines really chop the straw up a lot. Deer, they don't do it as bad. They're a little bit more gentle on it. So the straw looked pretty nice. It was golden. And I've never seen this before, but it brought $275 a ton for small bales of straw. Don't know why, don't know how it did it. Not complaining. Another day, another dollar. We're out here feeding the steers on this sloppy day. Y'all hungry? Yeah? Y'all hungry? Hi. How are you? So we're just coming off of about a day and a half of straight rain. It's pretty sloppy. Fortunately though, it wasn't a runoff rain, it was a steady soaker. I myself though, I'm just coming off of a cold, if you can't really tell by my voice. So it's good to be back outside though, and I'm glad that I got a cold during a rainy stretch and not during nice weather. So first bit of sun that we've seen in 2 days, and I'm finally back outside, which feels good. Anyway, we're feeding steers. We're down to one bale left here. And this bale actually is an alfalfa grass bale from our fields from 3 years ago. This bale is 3 years old. Grass still looks good in there, and alfalfa still looks good in there. The bale is dusty. I mean, that's what you get for 3-year-old bale, but I can smell it. I mean, it smells sweet. It smells like alfalfa. I had thought that this bale was one of the grass bales from 2 summers ago, but it wasn't. It was an alfalfa bale from 3 summers ago. So it just goes to show you make good hay, it'll still last a while. I mean, it's not horse hay because it's dusty, but these steers are gobbling up pretty much. If it has alfalfa in it, they're gonna eat it. You guys all right? What are you waiting for?
I don't know, something amazing, I guess.
Are you happy now? I had to use my hat as a phone mount. It's been 2 days since they sprayed. Not seeing a whole lot of changes yet, but the one thing that is changing, this plant right here, whatever it is, it's starting to wilt. So 2 days later, that's starting to die off. Give it 2 weeks here roughly, and then we'll be coming in here to plant. I gotta get the seeder lined up. I got the truck stuck. brother became a man today. He drove a truck. He did hit the fence, but we will not talk about that. Well, the other day I got the truck stuck out here, and the reason I got the truck stuck is because it's a flatbed, and when it's empty, that flatbed is really light in the back, so it just can't get any traction at all. So I had to get the tractor, pull it out, and managed to get it out, but just one of those things where it's kind of frustrating because I was just trying to bring some hay out here, and I ended up getting the truck stuck. And we were just starting to get dry again, and of course now it's sopping wet again, and we're supposed to have another 2 more days of full rain. The reason I got the truck stuck is because I was bringing these bales out here, just some of these big alfalfa bales, alfalfa grass bales that were just too junky to sell for horses. And as you can see, it's a Snowflake, and she's hungry. She's waiting for me. We're gonna do an experiment. We're gonna see how they like these things compared to an old alfalfa bale. These are new 2023 alfalfa bales. Are very heavy, and that's why it just smacked her in the face. But even though they're not good horse bales, they make phenomenal steer feed because of the sheer amount of alfalfa in them. I would say the results of this experiment are in, and it is conclusive that this hay is steer approved. So it was baled a little bit on the wetter side, so some of these spots, they're just hard and cakey. Some of these spots, like right here, flake apart really nice, and you can see just the beautiful alfalfa in there that these steers absolutely want to eat. You want this? I think you want this. No, come on. No, you want this. No, she don't want that. Anyway, that's why they're not good for horses. It's just a little bit of cakey in there, but it's really good for steers because the cakiness, mustiness, dust, mold, none of that will affect the steers. It's perfectly fine for them. So if you're new to beef farming, new to cattle, that sort of thing, know that steers will pretty much eat about anything. If you're going for beef cows to put on weight, alfalfa is kind of like, that's the candy. That is what they will just eat and eat and eat and eat and eat. And it's not like horses to where if they eat too much of it, they'll get sick. That doesn't happen really with steers, at least as far as I know. They can pretty much just eat as much as they want of that stuff, and they will be perfectly fine. They will just eat and eat and eat until they are full, and they will put on a lot of pounds quick. Alfalfa, though, is harder to make and more expensive, so that's why you see us feed a lot of grass hays and stuff. They eat them just as much as the alfalfa. If there is grass or alfalfa in front of them, they're probably going to eat the alfalfa first, but they will eat anything that we put in front of them. And the grass helps kind of just balance out the diet because grass is easier to make. It's a good companion crop with alfalfa, and it's also cheaper to buy if you're buying it. So these bales right here, they are alfalfa orchard grass bales. Both alfalfa and orchard grass, great for steers. And with that mix, it's just a really nice blended diet for them. They'll just eat this stuff all day long, and I will come out here tomorrow and all of this will be completely cleaned up. So have at it, guys.